Good evening, everyone. I now call this school board meeting to order of August the 3rd, 2022. Ms. Bowers, would you please call the roll?
Ms. LaPonja? Mr. Kilgore?
Here.
Mr. Samuels?
Present.
Dr. Woodhouse?
Here.
Dr. Mason?
Here. Let the record reflect that all board members are present. At this time, for our opening, I'll turn it over to our student rep, Mohammed Al-Safar.
It's good to be back. Needed to say that. But I would now like to ask Langston Ford, a 7th grade.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. You can remain standing and please proceed with what you have to show us today.
So today I'll be reading a paragraph from a book by Michael Jordan called I Can't Accept Not Trying.
All right.
Not everyone is going to be the greatest salesman or the greatest basketball player, but you can still be considered one of the best, and you can still be considered a success. Life or even baseball. I set goals, realistic goals, and I focus on them. I ask questions. Go White Sox. I'm not afraid to ask anybody anything if I don't know. Why should I be afraid? Nothing wrong with that. Step by step, I can't see any other way of accomplishing anything.
Awesome.
Thank you.
That was an amazing recital, and I just want you to take in what you basically said right now to us and upcoming school year, and really, set out those goals, set out those perspectives, make sure you get them done, make sure you get it done, because guess what? You are a person, you're still a human, and you have middle school year, so have fun while you're at it, and really just taking that reflection. Just again, another round of applause. To know you more, I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions. What's your favorite subject and why?
My favorite subject is science. When I grow up, I want to be a chemist.
Look at that. That's really amazing.
Nice.
Really nice to know. Chemist is not, it's not something you hear. Second question, what are you looking forward to this upcoming school year?
So I'm looking forward to learning more about science.
As you should. What do you do during your free time?
Well, I play games with my friends. I hang out with my family.
Do you do anything like school related?
Nothing really.
Hey, that's gonna change though, right? But yeah, can we get another round of applause for
Thank you so much. Comments from board members? Well, first of all, I want to say thank you, Langston, for taking time to be with us. Thank you for joining us. And then also, tell us who you have with you today.
So I have my grandparents over there. That's my grandfather.
Please stand.
And that's my grandmother. Her name is Gwen. I have my parents and my sisters here.
Oh, great, great.
Would you all stand? Yes.
Yes, stand. All right, well, thank you so much for being with us here today. Like I said, greatly appreciate the time that you've taken out of your summer break to join us here. So, and Mom and Dad, thank you so much for sharing him with us today. All right. Yes, Mom.
I just want to add something else. Like I had a discussion and conversation with you before this meeting started, and you know, by the way you express yourself, by the way you portrayed yourself, and the seventh grade year is your intermediate year. Like I told you, it's between 6th and 8th. Continue that, please, and make us proud, make yourself proud. Most importantly, make your parents proud, make your grandparents proud. And yeah, have fun while you're at it. That's all.
Langston, you picked the perfect piece to read. That was just perfect because, as many people know, Michael Jordan didn't make the team many times. Only failure is not trying. So if you can just keep that in mind, I'm sure you're going to be fine. I can tell already. Thanks again.
Yes. All right, moving along. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt tonight's agenda.
So moved.
And seconded by Dr. Woodhouse, that we adopt tonight's agenda. Any discussion? Ms. Bowers, would you please call for the vote?
Mr. Kilgore?
Aye.
Mr. Samuels?
Aye.
Dr. Woodhouse?
Aye.
Ms. Lafanja?
Aye.
Dr. Mason?
Aye, motion carries. Next up is recognitions. I will now turn it on the agenda, or meeting over, should I say, to Ms. Kelly Gorel for recognitions.
Why, thank you, sir, and thank you for not turning the entire agenda over to me.
I was going to give it all.
You're going to give it up. Thank you, Chair Mason, Vice Chair Cherry, our school board, Dr. Smith, and the members of our Hampton City Schools family. We have actually just one recognition this evening. It is the Power Partner Award, and we have a special guest joining us to present. Over to Miss Pam Croom, the Virginia PTA President.
Thank you, Kelly. Good evening, Chair Mason, Vice Chair Cherry, members of the school board, and Dr. Smith. It is my absolute pleasure to be here with you. With our school community. So tonight I am here to congratulate Dr. Smith, who has been named a Virginia PTA Power Partner. Virginia PTA recognizes principals and superintendents from across key to student success. Dr. Smith set and continues to set the bar across Virginia when it comes to parental engagement. But more importantly, a resident of Hampton, thank you for your continued support of PTA, your aspirations for PTA, and achievements you yourself have brought to our community and our schools. I often find my their place of strength when tackling an issue, and remember to put our children first. So thank you for your partnership, and it is my honor and pleasure to present this certificate and a gift of our superintendent power partner. Woo-hoo.
Yes, you can.
I'm absolutely humbled, and thank you so very much, and certainly to the state PT very much with our mission in collaboration with our community. We believe in the fact that it is about every child, every day, whatever it takes. And so thank you for your strong partnership with us, and I'm grateful, and I am absolutely humbled. So thank you so very much. Ask members of the division leadership team to stand, because I thank you so very much. We're grateful. I don't think I saw Dr. Hand stand. I'm just kidding.
I know.
Right. Thank you very much. And thank you, Pam, for being with us tonight. It's always good to have you back home. And
Thank you for your leadership. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for all you do for Virginia PTA. We really appreciate it. Pleasure of the board.
Mr. Chair, I make the motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded by Dr. Woodhouse and seconded by Ms. Banks-Gray that we approve tonight's consent agenda. Any discussion?
Mr. Samuels,
Aye.
Dr. Woodhouse,
Aye.
Ms. Lafanja, Ms. Banks-Gray,
Aye.
Ms. Cherry,
Aye.
Mr. Kilgore,
Aye.
Dr. Mason.
Aye, motion carries. Dr. Smith?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll start at this time and ask that Dr. Caggiano would come forward and share and provide input to Leadership Summit.
Good evening, Chair Mason, Vice Chair Cherry, members of the board, Dr. Smith. It's a pleasure to be with you all again this evening. As you recall, the last time I was before the board, we had the opportunity to share information in reference to the June Leadership Summit. So we have been holding 2 leadership summits on an annual basis. June really sets the stage for administrators, both school leaders and central office leaders, in reference to a lot of heavy lifting that gets done during the month of July in preparation for the upcoming school year. And so the August day event, we kicked it off on Monday and concluded just after lunch. Dr. Smith treated us all to a nice lunch this afternoon. We had a nice lunch working with County Grill this afternoon. Engaged in. And so you'll see some links throughout the presentation. And in those links, I'm not going to click on those, but particularly for the viewing audience at home, if you wanted to see, for example, news summaries, you would be able to click on this link right here. So again, we began Monday morning. We want to recognize and thank PEG TV for their work in helping to introduce new leaders to the division. I won't play this here, but this is a 6-minute video, a fun video that they put together. And you see a screenshot here of one of our new hires, Mr. Anthony Perry, our Director of Elementary School Leadership. So this particular video highlighted familiar faces in new places, those administrators who were with us previously in new positions, and then new leaders in Hampton City Schools. This was the title of his presentation here, Charting the Course, the Impact of Leadership. His full presentation, again for the viewing audience at home, is linked below. I've got a few highlights. After he shared a little bit about our mission statement earlier, he spent some time reviewing the mission statement and a division vision statement, and then shared with the audience the strategic goals of the board, the 21-26 vision. On the right side of the screen in that circle also represents the board's goals, and then at the center there, the core of that is our first goal of maximizing every child's learning. And then you see Dr. Smith's focus areas kind of morphing out of that there. And as we go around the wheel, again, the center is our core business of teaching and learning. We have that systems approach, the guaranteed and viable curriculum, lesson design and delivery, authentic assessments, safe and nurturing environment, data-driven decision-making, 21st century learning. So those have been his focus areas since he arrived 7 years ago. And while some things have fast in reference to those focus areas. Something else he highlighted in reference to the goals, and particularly important where we are today in education, really across the he shared data. He was at this summer at the Urban Superintendents Association conference, and some of the data gleaned from that presentation. Stats, for example, at the 1920 school year, across the country, we needed 150,000 teachers. For the 2021 school year, that jumped up to 300,000 teachers. This is pre-COVID. And then post-COVID, last school year, the estimate was 800,000 plus teachers needed vacancies across the country. And so, confident Smith's presentation, but a number of the presenters really spoke about the importance of retention. And what are we doing as school leaders? What are we doing as department chairs, leads? If you've ever had an elevator conversation with him, he's got lots of words of wisdom, golden nuggets. And so throughout the presentation, you'll see some of these golden nuggets. And these were shared with administrators in the audience. And the general theme really was leadership matters, you matter, we value what you bring to the standpoint or a leadership standpoint in reference to retention, recruitment, that leadership does matter. So these were just a couple of the quotes that he shared and some stories as well in this presentation. He also spent a lot of time talking about the power of collaboration and that we are a team, and we are encouraged during the Leadership Summit to share best practices that are occurring across the division, and whether that's leaders or teachers across the division. And so, again, hammering home the theme of leadership does matter. He asked us to be reflective and looking at some questions, and so the three pertinent conversations and debrief a bit, but what should we continue doing? What should we abandon? What needs to be creatively invented afresh? And so they had some time to share their and provided hard copies of those guiding and essential questions. So those three guiding questions: what do you know? What will you do? And when will you do it? And then how will you assess and monitor impact? And so the expectation of school leaders at the June Leadership Summit, and then the essential school leadership teams, draft responses to those questions. Be prepared when you break out into groups by level, elementary, middle, and high, to share those responses in a meeting with our chiefs of school leadership. And so, again, he made the connection for staff to analyze their data, school learning plan data from previous years, SOL data, other various data points, particularly related to literacy. And so, again, they were asked to come to the table prepared to share best. But going back to that systems approach and a number of protocols and processes that have put in place in recent years was stick to the plan, guaranteed. We know that particularly when we look at data from first-year teachers, they know nothing other than following our curriculum, and so when we see the success there, we know it's working. And so in a number of areas, again, the theme leadership matters, and closing it out here was sticking to the plan. There are several other presentations I wanted to take, again, just a similar overview for two of the presentations, and then a real high-level view for the remaining presentations. We know that literacy is a gatekeeper. It's been but for leaders as well. And so English language arts, these are the areas of emphasis this school year, focus areas for this department, and working with our school leaders and teachers as well. And so I'll highlight each of is just to share the slide. The purpose here is just to share the number of professional learning opportunities our teachers have throughout the school year to engage in. So that's on the left side of the screen. That's an electronic document that went live. It just scrolls and scrolls and scrolls. So some mandatory training and some optional English language arts, regardless of which level you teach and really which level role you have in our organization. On the right side, those are some sessions for literacy leaders, whether reading specialists, reading interventionists, and optional meetings for building principals as well. Again, I was an elementary principal. This is a slide from the elementary administrators meeting. This was something back in my day as a principal that would have only been shown in a reading specialist meeting. Our expectation in this division now of principals and assistant principals, if you taught PE, literacy leaders, and you're all driving literacy in your building. You're working with literacy staff, you're helping teachers grow as literacy leaders as well, and so all hands on deck when it comes to literacy. So this slide here is is small group reading. So we're reinforcing how, as a principal, I go into a classroom. I don't have to interrupt the teacher. She or he is with a group of small group at the front. I know my students, so I know who's in the group. I can pull up a student and I can look at data, reading data, and I can tell, are they in the right group? So I'm able to monitor that. I'm able to look at the data and see if they're being assigned the right level. Continuing to build leaders' literacy skills, and that was that presentation at the elementary level. So this slide here, as it says on the right, middle school, English language arts. Here. And what's unusual about this slide is typically you would see this in a board presentations in a division, and this would be an elementary slide. We're one of the few divisions in the Commonwealth and really nationwide. There aren't too many divisions who are doing this, implementing small group reading and kind of workstation approach in middle schools. And that at 20 minutes a day during a 90-minute block, a middle school teacher is meeting with students in a small reading group based on their reading level. And so our middle school teachers are still getting comfortable with that. We're providing training. And then what's also happening when you walk into our classrooms this coming year, working in a small group with other students, or if I'm a new teacher and I'm not as comfortable with classroom management, I have the other students seated. They'll be working on different tasks during the 90-minute block. And so again, a lot of heavy lifting here. Dr. Haynes working closely with middle school leaders as well to reinforce through walkthroughs this particular model. But we're seeing success, and we look forward to sharing some of those SOL results with the board in the near future. So at the high school level, digital writing portfolios, to hold students accountable for their writing, and also for literacy leaders at the high school level to give teachers feedback on the feedback they're providing to students. So what happens, and how to monitor that, become more comfortable, familiar with that. So our 9th grade students, they have an opportunity to create a digital writing portfolio, and basically they create a website. And that website, as you see here, this student has their own specific website, and as this student moves to 10th grade, he or she shares the website with the 10th grade English teacher. And so what's happening is throughout their matriculation of 4 years of high school, all of their writing samples, all of the portfolio, and where our area of growth is for this coming year is for teachers to provide the written feedback using electronic comments. And so again, there's an opportunity for teachers to see one another's students' feedback and share. But again, we also see this in the future from a career digital backpack where I can show off some of the skills that I have, portrait of a graduate, before I leave high school. So educators at the high school level were immersed in that particular presentation. And then the surface level for the rest. This was Heather Peterson. So we wanted to highlight one this evening, teaching and learning, and then another, culture and climate here. And so Ms. Peterson did an excellent job really setting the stage of where we still are as far as students and the need for support, as well as staff. And we have to shift to one of hope and optimism. Hope is a mitigating factor for trauma and achievement. And so it's hard to see in that bottom slide there, but she encouraged administrators in these sessions, all of our administrators, elementary, middle, and high, to be very reflective and setting the stage for a positive school year and opening and maintaining support throughout there. She also made some connections to the board goal in reference to retention, and Dr. Richardson in her presentation, which I'll get to in a minute, did as well. So again, looking for the opportunity to celebrate successes, knowing my strengths and areas for growth, and perhaps my assistant principal compliments me well and she or he's better suited to have a conversation with a particular teacher in reference to something he or she's going through. So again, lots of opportunities, not as much taking place. Here's a picture of Ms. Peterson here delivering her presentation. Some of the additional presentations, Ms. Robin Ruth led a presentation on a Title IX overview and staffing updates. And so there's some new regulations coming out in reference to Title IX as it comes to discipline and working closely with student services. And so we've made some changes in our discipline It's again looking at the challenge that we face not only in Hampton but throughout the Commonwealth and the country in reference to filling vacancies. And so for the first time engaging in relationships with some third-party vendors. And so really thinking outside the box in order to fill vacancies. And so while we're not in a position to do that, we will have qualified adults in front of students. And then the goal is, if we do partner with a third-party vendor, is to continue working hard to replace, whether that's to the end of the first week of school, first month of school. We are confident that where we're headed, that students will have high-quality educators in front of them come day one. Student services, tiered levels of support. They went over some procedural things. You know, one of the things we did was tweak the registration forms, and now that when you register, there's a question on there that says, "Do you have internet access?" And so things like that, just to begin to speed up the process of making sure all families are taken care of. They do a great job of providing supports to schools in reference to students, whether it's behaviorally related or academically related. So they shared a kind of menu of services who had the opportunity to share how they could support schools and individual families in Hampton. Nurse Gill, next presentation, health services, health mitigation updates, shared from Richmond some of the things coming down in reference to masking policies and space policies and classroom distancing requirements, which there no longer are. Individuals, teachers, or schools in need of additional supplies. She mentioned how we can get additional masks. We have surplus here, and the processes for that for school leaders, as well as desk shields for those who want to. Information for administrators, and I took the beginning of the title out. I guess I should have left it in. The beginning of the title was "No Orange," and then she had the rest of the title here. So no orange meaning I don't want to wear a jumpsuit. There's best practices in reference to finance, and they've made a number of changes from a support standpoint to support administrators, and so that presentation was also very well received. Critical incident system management, the CISM, we've talked about this with the board. There's some new ways that we're documenting that in the Power School system, so administrators were trained on that. There will be optional support sessions throughout the year on a monthly basis with that. And then Dr. Richardson presentation was and made connections to his. So again, the theme of leadership matters. And there's a new teacher evaluation standard that all divisions across the Commonwealth are being held accountable for this year, and that is culturally responsive teaching. So we now have 8 teacher evaluation performance standards. As an administrator, when I go into a classroom to observe a teacher, what might that look like? Or if I've seen a teacher engage with students in an after-school club, what might that look like? And so teachers not only will be observed on this, but they'll be evaluated. And she also, again, from the lens of retention, shared some strategies with them in her role as leader of induction and retention for the division. And then last but not least here, actually not last but least either, school leadership ensuring a successful school start. We had the opportunity for middle school administrators, elementary and high, and separate questions that Dr. Smith posed to our leaders back in June. The expectation was they came to that meeting being willing to discuss. They all had access to one another's electronically. They could look at them ahead of time, perhaps pair up and ask one, can you talk to me about this particular strategy you all listed or this particular resource? And so they engaged in conversation there. They had some safety as well. And then school improvement planning. So we gave them their initial data and state's expectation on that report card. If you fall within a certain range, certain areas, that you must write goals by October 1st. Kim Judge this morning and our Director of Special Education and Dr. Andrew Lloyd, who oversees English language learners, gave a combined collaborative presentation talking about some of the benefits for those particular student populations and how really great strategies to impact all learners. There were also some things shared. For example, Mrs. Judge wanted to hammer home that special education is a service and not a place, and so she gave some tips in reference to high quality. Something that Dr. Lloyd shared with the group was that communicating with parents in a language they understand is actually a legal requirement. And as we're seeing our population of English language learners grow, and we know that we're seeing them spread throughout schools and not just at some of our centers, principles, for example, one of the resources we use Language Line, where we're able to have a translator really 24/7 on the phone to support families. And then a couple of last slides here. This is our pre-service 8 a.m. email going out to highlight all of our pre-service activities. So really August 8th through the 22nd. Any of those, feel free to do so. I don't think anyone will turn you away, but there's quite a menu there. Again, some are optional, some are mandatory.
Then at the end of the day today, after 2.5 days, Dr. Smith got in front of the group again and shared some of the key summit takeaways, and some of those I've highlighted already today. So when you're having fun, time flies, and it really, the 2.5 days went by quickly, and it was very engaging and very informative and time well spent. I think, speak for Dr. Smith and the leadership team, that we were all pleased with how things went over the last 2.5 days, and we feel that our leaders in the division really have left this week really energized. And then the last thing I'll share before any questions that you all have is this website was recently updated. HR, Human Resources, created this website, and I wanted to highlight it particularly for the viewing audience at home. So you see the summer, but we just wanted the community to know, and anyone watching, that we have people who, when you book a virtual appointment, manning Zoom throughout the day, and you can schedule a time. Robin and her team, Ms. Ruth, have it set up very easy to schedule a time with a calendar. And so if you've got questions about whether your credentials would meet state requirements, for example, or you're interested in coming from another division outside of the region, then we would encourage those individuals. So that does conclude this presentation. Mr. Chair, I'd be happy to entertain any questions the board may have at this time.
Thank you very much. Any comments or questions from board members?
So will those be required?
Yes, those are required, mandated, in 9th grade through 12th grade. And so last year what we did was we put some mechanisms in place to monitor. And so what we're able to do now is, through the English Language Arts Department, provide principles of report. Number one, just compliance. How many students as of today have a portfolio system and a link on it? They have just a simple spreadsheet by name, and they can sort it by name. They can find yours and just click right on your portfolio and see where you are. So we've been encouraging them to just click on a few names and pull them up and talk about some of the student progress. Yes, so all students 9th through 12th.
All right. And so how will this affect like some academies or like some work that is required by English teachers that sometimes already put out writing assignments, et cetera, et cetera. Will that how will it affect it?
Yeah, there's some minimum expectations. X number of writing samples. So those will be in there at a minimum. Typically, it's at least 2 per quarter. We want to see the rough draft in there. We want to see the teacher providing feedback on that rough draft. Then you as a student make a copy of your rough draft and put it in there, and then make the teachers who say, students, I would also like for you to add this particular assignment to your writing portfolio. So while everyone won't have the same number, they will have the same minimum number of assignments.
Okay, and so that's the English
curriculum, and then there is some flexibility as well. Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Other board members, questions? Comments?
I do.
Okay, Mr. Samuels.
On the slide when it includes the Human Resources Title IX overview and staffing update, I know there has been like a lot of conversation, Ms. Ruth, as it relates to title expert in this field. Since you're the Director of Human Services, is there any plan to hire like a Title IX coordinator to provide the additional support that once that you will need?
So I currently serve as the division's Title IX coordinator. We have discussed numerous times whether or not this should be a separate position. The changes for this year, they were internal process changes that we're making to make sure that we have a good sound process to follow. Process is more efficient. There are proposed changes to the Title IX regulations that have been recently distributed, and '23 calendar year. Once the final version comes out, there may be a stronger recommendation for a separate position, but it's all about for handling Title IX issues, and so we're comfortable with where we are right now. We'll see what the future brings.
Thanks.
Miss Ruth, okay.
Yes, so I don't have a question, I just have a comment. Dr. Caggiano, I just want to thank you once again for an amazing presentation. And Dr. Smith, thank you and your leadership team. I'm just always so impressed, y'all. I'm just up here skinning and grinning. Just such an innovative and forward-thinking leadership summit. And I have to let you guys know that smiling faces at a summit. So job well done, and I'm just so proud of you all. Thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you, Ms. Gregg. Thanks,
Yes,
Gregg. We appreciate that.
Anyone else? Ms. Chair?
Just so you know, Ms. Ruth, I heard Dr. Smith up here saying good answer, and I think you know what that means, okay? I think you know what that means. But with respect to the slide on leadership matters, cut line, if you will, would stick to the plan. Because Dr. Smith and I have talked repeatedly about making a plan, sticking to the plan, and always delivering. But I think the crux of that is sticking to the plan, because so many things can go awry when we depart from the finding that our teachers and administrators are pretty much in lockstep on that.
We are, yes, certainly defer to Dr. Smith as well. He addressed that a number of times. So that point was hammered home, and if I were in the audience, I would have certainly gotten that takeaway. When you look at data, and we started to analyze quarterly data, and you see the performance of our new teachers, I mean, just knocking it out, and student achievement data off the charts. And then you see some veteran teachers saying, well, wait a second, how did that happen? And so, again, as I mentioned earlier, they're sticking to the plan. They're following the curriculum. And so that guaranteed and viable curriculum, what you're seeing happening in the division, and that if they don't like something or they want to provide feedback, they can have that, and they see that being tweaked and changed. So, yes, in the area of curriculum, that's a great example. One of the conversations with Dr. Burrow was in reference to, some of what we're doing now with parents and access to schools, and so wanting to be on the same page, systems approach to visitors in school, et cetera. So they were having that conversation. Again, sticking to the plan. What is the plan?
Excellent, because so many times teachers, not in our division, but so many times teachers across the nation feel like they're kind of left on their own to figure it out. So there are no plans, but the fact that we in order to help you follow the plan is exceptional. So thank you again.
We appreciate that. Thank you.
Anyone else? Well, I'd just like to say excellent presentation. When we are lack of educators, people going into the profession to teach, we are truly challenged. But here, I'm very pleased to see what leadership that ignites hope. It really resonated. So that's huge, because at a time when we are looking for something, we just can't sit back and wait. So it's good to see that Hampton City Schools continues to set the bar high, even in challenging times. So thank you all.
Absolutely. The final presentation will be from Ms. Branch, and that's really an update in terms of the impact of the final state. After Ms. Branch, Ms. Ruth, you'll provide the staffing update. Thank you.
Yeah, he said final.
Good evening, Chair Mason, Vice Chair Cherry, School Board. Provide an update on the fiscal year 2023 budget based on the final state budget that was put into law on June 22nd. I want to focus primarily on the school operating fund, Fund 50, but I did want to remind the community as a whole that the total budget for Hampton City Schools for this upcoming school year is $300 million. State budget, the impact is only on Fund 50. So Fund 50 is approximately $268 million that was approved back during the spring. And that Governor Northam. After looking at the final state budget, we did an analysis to determine, what is going to be the impact going forward on what was originally proposed to the school board and subsequently approved. And based on that, $6,000. Now, since this is a reduction, this does not require the school board nor city council to reapprove of what the impact is to the school division, but we will maintain internally and monitor this reduction within the school board's budget. So that reduction is actually going to go up, and then some state funding that's going to go down. So I'm first going to talk about what is that additional state funding based on the final budget. So first you'll see that the hold harmless funding, we are expecting an additional harmless funding is pretty much state aid just to help help the division to combat against the elimination of the grocery sales tax elimination. We are specific items at this time, but we are recommending to maintain it within contingency. And as we monitor the budget throughout this school year in 2023, to those funds. Then if we look at the next addition, it will be state supplement for a $1,000 bonus for standards. And that will be an additional state aid of about $2 million to the school division. We will come back to the school board before that December 1st date to provide greater details on the bonus amount and additional SOQ funding. So standards of quality funding is estimated to increase by an additional $2.8 million, and three major items are impacting that amount. 550 K through 3 students, also state funding for 20 support staff positions per 1,000 students, and then lastly, state funding for one principal for each element. Is for the school division. So prior to this final state budget, SOQ funded approximately 53% of the positions within 45%. With this additional funding, we're now up to 53%. And let me just say that again for clarification. So in fiscal year 2022, changes that were proposed in the final state budget, SOQ funding is now covering 53% of our positions. Now looking at the reductions. So the total reductions is about $6.3 million. Again, that change in state funding, it is a net figure. So when we look, it includes $2 million reduction in the school construction grant. Originally, this was proposed to be $8 million for Hampton City Schools, but it is proposed to be $2 million less. Also, a reduction of $3.5 million in at-risk funding, a reduction of $800,000 in early reading intervention state funding, and then some smaller reductions in governor schools funding and SOL algebra readiness. And all of those funding sources are reductions in state funding. So you said that we expect changes. And because of that, we said we strategically plan this budget so that we can respond to those. And that and then also maximizing every child's learning. So where we have reductions, for example, in the school construction fund, what that means is $2 million of projects will just have to be delayed, for example. Tonight's brief impact of state funding, and I'm definitely able to answer any questions that you may have.
All right. Thank you. Board members, questions? Mr. Samuels?
I just have one question, Ms. Branch. As it relates to the reduction in funding for the early reading, the early reading intervention funding, how will this impact our reading intervention specialists?
It will not have an impact. So as part of the budget development, we to help fund the early reading instructional assistants moving from part-time to full-time. And because we wanted to maintain that priority, when we saw this reduction, we looked at, all right, we just need to delay some of the non-payroll items for our early reading program.
Good.
Dr. Woodhouse?
Yes. Ms. Branch, thank you for your report. I was looking at the at-risk funding. We have taken a major hit there. Do we? $3.5 million.
Yes, so it's actually, it's a hit in that it's always good to have additional funding. However, in the initial budget from Governor Northam, this was one-time additional funding for the at-risk program, and we could, when we were doing the budget development, we looked at items that were really just one-time in nature. For example, we said if these funds are received, something that we plan to do, but with this funding, we could have moved that project up sooner. So we're not going to be able to do that this year with this funding because it's not coming from the state. However, it's still a priority as we continue to develop the budget in future years.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Anyone else? Ms. Cherry?
Thanks again, Ms. Branch. I just need you to just, for sake of clarity, help me with one piece you had. It was when you were talking about the, and based on what you said, unless I misheard you, the elimination of the grocery tax in some way hurts the division?
Yes, because that would, state budget includes a buffer for us of $1.1 million.
Is the $1.1 million buffer close to what we would be doing if we didn't have that elimination?
Will be. It is the amount that was determined by the state because those funds tend to trickle through the local government down. So
So then that would come through the city.
Traditionally, yes, but with this hold harmless, it's coming from the state to the school division.
The 1.1.
Yes.
But the revenue from the grocery tax would generally comes through the city.
Yes.
And then the city funnels it to us, our portion.
Through whatever the local contribution is.
Exactly. So I see. Okay. That's what I need clarification on. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Other board members? Anyone else? All right.
And now the final report, the staffing update. Mr. Ruth.
Good evening again. And I would like to take this opportunity just wanted to give a quick reminder that open enrollment started on August 1st and it runs through August 26th. Insurance carrier. We are transitioning to Optima Health Insurance. Because there are no plan design changes to the health insurance, we're utilizing what the choice plan for family, and I want to stay with the choice plan and cover my family. I don't have to do anything. So very easy enrollment process. The only caveat is for all of our employees who have the high deductible plan, our CDHP, they do need to make sure that they go in and obviously we have a new health insurance carrier, so there will be a new bank that handles our health savings account. So for anyone who has and check off the information regarding their health savings account. I did it just before the school board meeting this morning, or today, because I wanted to make sure that it was an easy process, and it was. So it just, yeah, so that was everything that I had about open enrollment. It is a quick and easy process, but I do always encourage anybody who wants some additional information to make an appointment with one of our benefits enrollers. All right, on to staffing. It's August, so you know I'll be up here. And Dr. Caggiano already shared with you that we are looking at doing some creative things this year. We have traditionally partnered with ESS for our substitute needs. We are going to be working this year with a company called Proximity Learning. They are actually a sister company to ESS, and they provide virtual instructors. So facilitator in person to handle the management of the classroom. We are excited about this. This is something we did successfully during the 2020. As Dr. Caggiano stated, it is always my goal to be 100% staffed, but we do have these backup plans just in case. So if we're not fully staffed on day one, it may be the end of September, it may be spring break, but we will be 100% staffed before the end of the year. Currently, we have 119 teacher vacancies. 119. 119. There are 65 elementary vacancies and 54 secondary vacancies. There is a third company that we will be partnering with, and that's University Instructors. Limited number of instructors, and they will be in-person instructors at 2 of our middle schools. In terms of some of our other positions, we only have 14 bus driver vacancies. We are services. We have 13 full-time vacancies, and this morning we had 54 part-time vacancies. However, we held our first pop-up at least Ms. Banks-Gray, I understand you had the opportunity to stop by, and the folks there really appreciated that. But we hired 9 food service workers on the spot. And we will be having 2 more of those pop-up events, one on August 10th at Tarrant Middle School, and we're outside. There literally is a tent. And come in, sign up. We are conducting non-exempt positions, so food service, transportation, instructional assistants, but we talked to several folks who are interested in teaching and or we'd love to have folks come on down to Tarrant on August 10th. We'll also be, and those are from 10 to 2, and then we'll also be at the West Hampton. We'll be out there. So, any questions?
Board members, any questions? No. All right. Thank you, Ms. Ruth.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the board. I think that concludes superintendent and staff reports.
All right. Next on the agenda is deliberation first read. Item 5.01, revision of school board policy AC, non-discrimination. Item 5.02, revision of school board policies BBFA/GBACB, conflicts of interest and disclosure of economic interests. 5.03, revision of school board policy BDD, electronic participation in meetings from remote locations. 5.04, revision of school board policy CLA, reporting acts of violence and substance abuse. 5.05, revision of school board policy EFB, food services. 5.06, deletion of school board policy JHCH, unpaid meal charges. 5.07, revision of school board policies KG, community use of school facilities, and KGR, community use of school facilities daily rental fees. And I think the first four are going to be handled by Ms. Ruth. If board members have any clarifying questions on 5.01 through 5.04? Yes, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Samuels.
Mr. Chair, I have just one.
Yes, sir.
Let me pull it up right here. So, Ms. Ruth, after looking at this policy, we go to page,
Which policy are we on?
policy 5.03, the BDD.
BDD, okay, yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
so page 3, paragraph 1, bullet number 4. I'm
Getting there.
trying to see how this read. It says, the bullet 4 says the second sentence, however, the member may not use remote participation due to personal matters more than, and then the sentence just end. Is it supposed to?
No, that would be a typo. We'll get that number in there for you.
Thank you.
Something- Yes, sir. We will
Yeah.
get that in there for you.
Okay, I appreciate that, because I was like, no, there's something missing right here.
Yes, indeed, there is. Sometimes when you cut and paste, you
Okay,
stop the cut a little bit too soon. We'll get that fixed for you. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Any other questions on those four? All right. Thank you, Ms. Ruth. The next three, well, actually, next four, two are combined, 5.05, 5.06, and 5.07. We have Ms. Branch back with us. Any questions? All right, yeah, Mr. Samuels.
Thank you so much, Chairman Mason. I just have a comment, Ms. Branch, regarding policy KG 5.07. Let me pull it up. The community use facility. Okay, that's not the one that I want to look at. Just one second. It's policy KG, community use facility. Yes, so under the page number 2, group 2, you listed the government agency engaged in functions such as polling station for election conducted by authorized official, park and recreational programs, and state agency. Do we need to add any language or to make sure that we don't have like any political groups renting a facility? Because I know I had a conversation with this policy previously, that do we need to mention that in the policy? We need to tighten it up to make sure that we don't have like, you know, people from political groups using our public facility to spread stuff.
Now, I don't know if legally we can say that they can't use our facilities.
Okay.
But they would not fall into the categories of a public interest group where there wouldn't be a facility rental fee charge.
Okay.
So this chart really takes the language that was already in the policy and just to kind of make it more concise so that it's easily read. But this is just to say that these entities are the ones that we would not charge a daily rental fee
Okay.
to.
So we may, you and I may have to have further conversation about that offhand.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
All right, any other questions? Ms. Cherry?
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Under the policy, unpaid meal charges,
That's one that's being
I just want to make sure it's there, but there was no mention of it being deleted. But if you look at it, everything is deleted.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure. Okay, thanks.
And just for clarification, that's policy JHCH.
Yes.
Yes,
And it is marked for deletion.
yeah, thank you.
All right. Anyone else? All right, thank you. We'll move these policies along for the next meeting. Item number 6 on the agenda, hearing of any delegations or presentation of any written communications or petitions. I do have one person wishing to speak tonight. Ms. Bowers, would you please read the protocol?
Yes. Citizens are invited to address the school board on matters of public concern about the school division. Speaker forms are available prior to the start of the meeting. If you wish to address the school board, please complete the form and give it to the clerk by 6:45 p.m. on the day of the meeting. Each individual will have 3 minutes to speak. At the end of your time, you will hear a buzzer. All comments shall be directed to the school board. Speakers may not yield their time to another. Speakers should address the school board with decorum on policy issues. Comments shall relate to agenda items or matters germane to the business or duties of the school board. Speakers comment on individuals at their own risk of violating confidentiality laws and are defaming the subjects of their comments. Neither the school board, the superintendent, nor the school administration will respond publicly to any comments by speakers about individuals. Presentation of resolutions, declarations, proclamations, manifestos, awards, or other similar documents not originated under the auspices of the school board or administration is prohibited during the public comment period. The audience is asked to be respectful of all speakers. Public comment is the school board's opportunity to listen to the speaker. Since our purpose is to hear from you, the board will not engage in dialogue with the audience or whomever is at the podium. Matters requiring a response will be directed to the superintendent for research and response. The superintendent may report back on such matters at a subsequent business meeting session as appropriate. The school board carefully considers your comments as we decide matters that are brought before us. We appreciate your attendance and your input.
All right, thank you. All right, and the only speaker tonight we have is Mr. David Dietrich.
Good evening, Chairman Mason, Superintendent Smith, and members of the school board. My name is David Dietrich, 139 Wilderness Road in Hampton. I have to ask the question first, is this a serious group here? I mean, I'm watching you here at this meeting and you're carrying on and laughing and telling jokes. This should be a serious environment, a serious meeting for the taxpayers of this community. So it's really very irritating and irresponsible to show that kind of behavior in front of the public like that. Moving on. I see several of you are wearing masks, taking off masks, wearing masks. When is that going to end? Is it going to be forever or what? I mean, I'd like to know what's the signal for removing them completely, or is it just for the rest of your lives here going through that kabuki theater? Is this school board at all involved directly in the school curriculum? Do you leave it to the superintendent to be responsible for that completely? I just wonder, because I continue to watch these meetings year after year. Not a single item specifically on the curriculum that's taught in these schools. What's the purpose of the curriculum? What's your role in determining that? Do you just leave it to the superintendent? When are you going to take this matter seriously to actually produce responsible citizens in this community and in our nation? What is a model graduate of the Hampton City Schools? I've heard this term used. How is it defined? Who defines it? What does it matter? Is this a way to measure what kind of students you put out of your school system? What are those metrics? You know, is there a formal program associated with it? There ought to be, because how do you measure your performance? I see all kinds of things about teachers and teaching programs and all that kind of stuff, pay and all, but what is it about the students that you actually do as a school board or as a superintendent, Dr. Smith? What is it you're actually measuring for your graduates. So it is so disappointing over and over to see this kind of thing. Are you just measuring equity, gender confusion, perverse behavior in the schools, political activism? I mean, what kinds of things are you actually doing that make these students better? Instead of equality, treating people equally when it comes to criminal behavior, clear gender recognition, dressing appropriately in the schools, demonstrating that children's bodies are sacred and shouldn't be mutilated, focusing on studies, aptitude, performance. That's what our school system should be about. I'd like you to consider that and in the future. Thank you very much.
All right, next item, information, starting with our next meetings. Our next work session will be on August the 17th at 6:30 at the Rupert Sargent Building, with our next board meeting being right back here at Jones Magnet Middle School on September 7th at 6:30. Other items for information, Mr. Superintendent?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I think you mentioned the summer school commencement will take place, and that's going to be on August the 11th. And so we're excited about that opportunity in terms of our summer school commencement. And also, I know that certainly with Dr. Caggiano's presentation this evening around really focusing on early literacy and the measures that we use for early literacy, and more importantly, English language arts and the curriculum focus there and so forth. And so throughout, I will say to the board members, throughout the year you receive reports and also benchmark data in terms of our accountability portfolio and how we measure student success. And so I would certainly take our system around our accountability system as it relates to indicators of student success and really place that against any school division in the Commonwealth or anywhere. So certainly a very strong, robust curriculum that we share and that we've shared with the board, and also what we call student game plan with those indicators of success, and specifically how we measure student success around the portrait of a Hampton graduate. At the end of the day, students should know, understand, and be able to do the following. That's our focus, and we outline specific data points around that. So thank you.
And thank you, Dr. Smith. And that's why you continue to win awards as a superintendent, and why we continue to win awards as a school division. And it's certainly my pleasure to serve with each and every one of you on this board, that we can get into the weeds and do the work, but also smile with one another as well. So that definitely makes a difference. Any other comments, information from other board members?
Yes, I just want to piggyback on what you said, Mr. Chair. You know, we all have an opportunity to watch other, not only board meetings, but other council meetings and that kind of thing. And I'd really like to hear from our student rep on this. But we've always seen that those boards that get along get a lot done, and those boards who have tension get very few things done. We're very pleased that, Dr. Smith, you explained, I'm sorry that you had to, about our commitment to the curriculum, because I think anybody who doesn't know that or understand that, it has been hiding under a rock or just chooses to be under one. But in terms of how our board interacts with each other, I think that is a positive, just like I think diversity is a positive, just like I think a student right to be himself or herself is a positive. I think the acknowledgement of people being people, and the bottom subject, which is always the foundation, being 4 letters, LOVE, and not HATE. But I'd just like to yield right now to our student rep to see, are we right along the lines, or how do you see it, sir?
Yes, so like when I was doing the interviews with you, I remember exactly saying, you know, why I like being on the school board. It's because you have two sides. You know, we can always be serious, yes, but you know, there's always a time where we're happy, we're smiling, we're joyful, and that's what it really is about, because we all are human. We are humans, and that's really what the point of this. Yes, we need to get our work done. Yes, we need to get this, and we do. There's a strict organization. There's a strict, you know, rules and ordinances and different regulations we have to follow within the school board, and that's why I like it, because you know, there's all this organization and within the school board, but at the same time, at the end of the day, it's almost 8:00 p.m. and we're still smiling and having fun. And I think that's the point, of having a good organizational body is, led by an amazing superintendent, Dr. Smith, being able to really reel us all in and reminding us that we are human. So, yeah. And on another note, I just want to say that Summer Bridge is coming up. So yeah, it's always very exciting to see new freshmen and people coming in to the new high schools and seeing that I'll be serving as an ambassador. So I'll be helping touring people around and stuff. So it'll be nice. Also, this month is the month of band camp, so all high schools are starting band camp and it's going good. Well, for my high school, the Hampton High School, we're starting off good, so I hope that is the same over at Phoebus, Bethel, Kecoughtan, and all that. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Other board members, comments? Ms. Banks-Ray?
I just piggyback on everything this side just said, so I think we've brought that on home. Would like to announce an event for teachers to mark your calendars for Sunday, August the 14th from 12 to 2. It is the Teachers Are the Best Back to School Drive. It's a drive-through giveaway just to say thank you for all you do and just to help you. Community partners have come together just to help you have a great start and cheering you on for the next school year. It'll be at C3 Hampton. That is 2311 Tower Place, Hampton, Virginia 23666. We just want to say thank you to the teachers and thank you so much for sowing seeds of greatness in our young people. So we look forward to seeing you, all the teachers out there.
All right. Mr. Samuels?
Thank you, Chairman Mason. I'd just like to share with you all that this past summer, we had approximately 20 students from the Maritime Academy participated in the Youth Sail-In program at Youth Sail, Virginia. And these young people learn water survival, safety. They also learn how to swim. And at the end of the week, they were sailing. So we are creating sailors among our young people involved in the Maritime Academy at Hampton High School. So we're looking forward to expand this program for our young people in the other academies so they can learn how to swim, because as you know, we're surrounded by this beautiful water in Hampton, and I am so excited to be a part of that board to extend these resources to our young people.
Just to remind you, it's the Hampton High School.
Dr. Woodhouse.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to say thank you to all of the superintendent and the board members who checked on me during the graduation. I was not able to attend the graduation. I came down with COVID, and so one of the reasons why I wear my mask now is because I have an obligation to my congregants as a pastor, and so I'm appreciative that you checked on me to see how I was doing, and I'm so sorry that I was not able to make the graduation. I've had quite a few of our citizens ask me how come I wasn't present for the graduation, and I had to explain to them that I had come down with COVID. It has left my lungs a little weak, but I'm getting stronger every day. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share.
Thank you. Anyone else? Well, just two things I would like to add. First of all, congratulations to our very own Dr. Smith, who has been named chair of the board for the Air and Space Center in Hampton. Yes, so congratulations. Yes. And then also, it's my distinct pleasure and honor to partner with one of our community partners, Mr. Mark Crump with State Farm Insurance. And this weekend, from 11 to 3 out at the Kroger on Mercury Boulevard, we will host the annual Stuff the Bus activity. And so we have some special things going on out there for you this weekend, and a special treat once again. So come on out between 11 and 3 and donate some school supplies and help us stuff the bus.
Is that tax-free weekend too?
Yes, that's also tax-free weekend, okay? So go out, purchase some wonderful school supplies. You can stop in at Kroger if you forget and you come on out there. They have school supplies in Kroger as well. So, all right, and we want to thank our partner with Kroger because they do a wonderful job of partnering with us for this event. And so come on out and enjoy yourself, have a great time, and do some great things for our students as we move right on into a wonderful new school year. So that's all I have. Anyone else? Any other comments or questions? Well, hearing nothing else, I declare this meeting adjourned.